name is Joe Bowen and welcome to the David Lean podcast. And today we will be at David Lean Cinema.
I'm Christine, I'm part of the media crew. Sadly, on my birthday, 2014, David Lean Cinema closed down. And so I'm really happy to come back with Club Soda to find out how it's going now. And we're here today at David Lean Cinema to introduce you to Sedley from Leisure Link and to interviewees Adrian, Janet and Heather.
My name is Sedley. I work for Leisure Link. What's it like being in charge of the independent cinema in Croydon?
Well, I should emphasise all three of us are directors of the Community Interest Company. It's very much a team effort. There's been a committee ever since 2011 with many people involved, and everything is far more involved and needs a bigger structure than I think we may have envisaged back in the days when it was a campaign trying to open the cinema, because we have I think it's something like 85 volunteers, and the fact that we're a community interest company that doesn't have a huge amount of income and is really doing it for the love of cinema rather than trying to make profits means that we don't have the capability to employ lots of people. We have a few part-time staff, but we're absolutely dependent on the volunteers who provide the stewards, the projectionists, the bar staff and the box office people. So it's a frightening structure. Heather can probably say more as a former volunteer coordinator, but it really is formidable how many people you need, and I think it is at least a tribute to how much people love the David Lean that so many people want to get involved, because without their help we just couldn't exist.
Always been constantly amazed at how many people are happy to come along month after month, year after year, and volunteer for us for very little reward. It's just been marvellous, because our cinema is far too small to be operated commercially. Nobody could operate it and make a profit. So this is really one of the few ways that it could operate. And it used to operate before under Croydon Council because they underwrote the costs, they subsidised it. But I think for me, when you say what's it like running an independent cinema in Croydon, I would say it can be very stressful sometimes, but a lot of the time it's a lot of fun and it's enormously friendly. And since I have made so many good friends, and I love film. So it's a place where everybody's got a common interest and everybody just throws themselves into it. We're all, well, someone said to me today, you're all on the same page. We all want the same thing. So everybody's sort of pulling together. And that really makes for such a good atmosphere. It's not just us people who run it, it's all the volunteers who we couldn't do without, and all the customers as well. It's more like coming to a film club than a cinema.
I like the way you're doing your autism screening now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do, part of my work, I go around to all the new cinemas, like the big one at Crystal Palace, and ask them about autism screening. And they don't do autism screening. The only one what does it is picture houses. The reason I'm doing that sort of work because a lot of my friends got autism, and I'm always checking things out for them to make sure everything's should be done.
We started this during the London Borough of Culture as part of our bid, and so we bid to show films for neurodiverse people and for people with dementia, and you know it was really good during that time to have the funding, you know, to actually pay for the films and do the work, and we really like to continue that, you know, after the funding is gone. So it's a little bit tricky, but you know, we want people to come to our films, you know, and it's kind of difficult getting enough people in and getting out to that audience. You know, it's great that Club Soda people do come along, but you know, it's finding a wider audience and families. You know, anyone who's watching this, please do come along to our screenings. You know, it's a great atmosphere. Tickets are only £5, and if you have a carer, they come in for free. There's tea, coffee, squash and biscuits for free, and we keep the lights on in the sort of the mid style so people can move around if they wish to, and the sound is kept at a good level too. We just really encourage people to come and see our films and give us feedback and tell us, you know, if they like our film.
When people come, we want them to feel that they're welcome and they can come in and feel really comfortable and at home and enjoy the film.
When it first started, they used to show a double build on a Sunday.
Yeah, when it was open on a Sunday. You know, the council building's not open on a Sunday now, so we can't even do that, unfortunately.
You were clearly coming in the 1990s then.
Yeah. It was around at the time. I think that for the price at the moment, it is cheaper than the other cinemas, all the big ones.
It's been really nice to speak to all of you. If there's anything else you want to say at the end?
Well, I've really enjoyed talking about what makes our little cinema so special and why we all love it.
It's been a pleasure seeing Sedley, because Sedley is clearly engaged with the cinema right from its earliest days in 1995 up to 2011, and fascinating to discover he was with the Save the David Lean campaign in the days when we were showing films at the Spread Eagle, experiencing some extremely hard chairs, but spreading the word about how much the David Lean cinema was missed. We've all shared some experiences on the way to bringing back the David Lean cinema and trying to make it the beacon of Croydon independent cinema that hopefully it now is.
Yes, and obviously I'm really pleased to speak to Sedley again. We've spoken many times. We're old chums now from back in the days when we had Croydon Radio, and Sedley talked to me about his films. You know, we really enjoy having our special screenings, and we really hope more people will come along on a Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Once a month to see our special relaxed screenings.
Cinema in Croydon has made a big difference to people's lives.
Hi, my name is Mario. I'm going to introduce David Lean Cinema to our gig buddies, Emma and Tori.
I'm Emma, and I've been volunteering with Gig Buddies since 2020.
I am Toyin, and I'm a member of Gig Buddies.
Toyin and I went to see the Barbie movie in
very popular.
September. Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. And I know it was a relaxed screening. I have this really, really vivid memory right at the beginning when the little girl is, I can't remember exactly what they're doing, but there's basically like a pastiche of the Also Sprach Zarathustra, 2001: A Space Odyssey. When the little girls are smashing stuff, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, very loudly. And Toyin, we were both singing and commenting along.
I'm a Barbie girl in my Barbie world.
That's
imagination.
That is your creation.
How many different people have you had coming to buy the ticket and seeing the film?
This is our 10th anniversary year, so we have been going for 10 years. Thank you, Emma.
Sorry. But 10 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think we have probably sold thousands of tickets.
Oh, I would think
haven't we?
so, yeah, definitely.
And we must have had thousands of different people. And I don't know how many films we've shown, hundreds and hundreds of films.
Yeah.
Would we?
Well, we're
I'd
currently
say at
averaging
least
about
1,000.
17
Easily.
films a month.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'd have to get back to you with some figures because it takes quite a
have
lot
to
of
check,
working out
yeah.
Yeah.
that
Maybe we
information.
could tell you about some of the lovely things we remember.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point to Adrian because he organised a marvellous punk film festival for us, which was hugely successful. We had really big audiences, and we sold a special beer that Kronk's Brewery, the local brewery, made at the bar, and they drank it dry. And it was, I remember I was serving at the bar that night, and the audience was so happy and so pleased to be coming and seeing the punk films. The bar was absolutely heaving with people, and they were all knocking back as much Kronk's beer as they could. And then they came and saw a film that took them back to their punk days. And Adrian organised that. It was a week's festival. He organised it all himself, but I'm talking about the opening night now.
What year was that?
Well, that actually happened at the end of October last year. But I think I should mention what the film is because it featured a man called Johnny Moped, who I think is well known to Club Soda members due to the performances of the Johnny Moped band. And there seems to be, from what I know, a bit of an affinity between Club Soda and punk. And Johnny Moped is a figure of extraordinary importance in Croydon because it's a Croydon band with a long history. They recently released a new album called Quonk that marks their 40th anniversary. Quonk.
I haven't heard of it.
They make up words sometimes, or Johnny does. And so the screening that Heather refers to was very special because that was a documentary called Basically Johnny Moped. And Basically Johnny Moped is also the film that we reopened the cinema with back in March 2014. Punk has actually played quite a significant part in the history of the cinema, and it was very nice to have a punk film festival as part of London Borough of Culture, because Croydon being the birthplace of punk, which is a claim which does have some basis, in fact, due to the emergence of the Damned and their creating the first punk festival, and Malcolm McLaren was a student at Croydon College. But nothing was actually happening in terms of events that linked to punk, although shortly before the year ended in March, Johnny Moped did actually play in the Braithwaite Hall that is opposite the cinema. So it was great that we were able to put on a festival that particularly celebrated Croydon and London in terms of punk history. And that festival, having started with Johnny Moped, it concluded with The Damned in an extraordinary evening which featured Captain Sensible, who's one of Croydon's most famous legends.
Wait, Captain Sensible's a Croydonite?
Yes, he was.
Absolutely.
He was here in the cinema.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, carry on.
But was it new though? The festival, was it actually, did it just come out of into the cinema? Or was it, was it advertised?
Adrian organised it.
Yeah,
Did you organise it?
yeah, and it started at the end of October, and it ran for a week, and it was specifically to tie in with the London Borough of Culture. Yeah. So really, the David Lean Cinema, in collaboration with the Museum of Croydon, because they have a exhibition called Remix on Croydon's musical history, which you can still see because I believe it will be open until around October. It was also great that the cinema collaborated with the museum because they wanted to work with Captain Sensible as well, because they were doing an oral history interview with him, and he has a fantastic furry stage costume and a beret and glasses that can still be seen in the Museum of Croydon exhibition. And so there was a nice collaboration, because on the same day that Captain Sensible appeared in here, when we were showing this film, The Damned, A Night of a Thousand Vampires, that was the finale of the festival, at the same time he was being interviewed about his memories of Croydon and so on.
And our projection box is unique in London, I think I can say, isn't it?
The only projection box south of the Ritzy in Brixton that has 35mm.
Okay, so we have 2 projectors. So we have a digital one, and then they run on like little train lines up there in the projection box. And then we have a 35mm one that takes those big old reels of film, because we try and show films that everybody will find something to enjoy.
I remember going to see Moonlight with my mum here, and really enjoying it. So what I like is the fact that you do a range of arty, world stuff, chart hits, and relaxed performances. Is there any difference between... While I think about it, is there any difference between relaxed screenings and dementia screenings? Or...
No, not at all, and everybody can go to both.
Okay.
They just have to be aware who it's aimed for, and be respectful for those people. So, you guys can go along to a dementia screening.
Anyone can.
That's why our tickets
I
are...
go to dementia screenings sometimes because I've missed the film at the other time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone coming to the cinema to support the guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That's the closest I'm ever going to get to Hollywood, folks.